Yes, lovely people. It's your boy VenusB. You can call me Venus, and we are right here on Vent. Today is a very beautiful day. As you can see, I have a guest here. His name is Gilbert Sackey. He's an administrator and a digital marketer. We are here to discuss about a few things. As a youngin growing up, youth man, youth girl, growing up, we sought to, digress about some few issues boggling our minds and see how we can tackle them and, embrace it. So, Charlie, once again, you are welcome. Today, we will discuss about the woes of the average Ghanaian youth man, the average Ghanaian youth, our woes, and we are trying to limit it to the average Ghanaian youth because this is where we live, this is where we are from, and we've been seeing the challenges and all of that, all sort of things happening. We've been seeing it, so we want to talk about it, digress into it, see how and why, and all the question marks. Yes, that comes with it. So, Charlie, yes. Once again, it's your boy Venus, and we are on Vent. So, Ampa, welcome. Thank you. So, let's begin with let me throw the question to you. What do you think are the woes of the average Ghanaian youth?
Wow. Thank you. To begin with, the average Ghanaian youth, I would say you and I know from our experience that there are a lot of problems facing Ghanaians from academics, living normal lives, even having their own, going through their daily routine is a whole lot of challenges. But one thing I would say is one of the major challenges is Ghanaians finding jobs, especially the youth. There are so many unemployed people in the country, so many students after national service, they struggle to find jobs. And I think one of the major problems we are facing as Ghanaian, our Ghanaian youth is unemployment.
Unemployment. Well, yes, you have a point. Unemployment is a big issue that is bothering us as a people, especially the youth. You know, I have friends and I have people who, are done with their unis and some are at home, some are doing some, what some people will say walansa, yeah, hustle, and sometimes people wonder, they are like, "Uko school no koye then. School now koye no." Then they too, some will blame government for not being able to provide a whole lot of common you try back. So if you say unemployment, let's take it as a whole. Why unemployment? How? Because we understand that once we all are employed, we school, go school now, we are self pay be. But as I say, how should we wait for us to get employed or should we strive? It's a challenge. When it gets to that point, it's a challenge. Some people find it hard to employ themselves. Some people wait for them to be employed. Some people are lucky enough. Once they finish, they have the connections, they have the links, and then pack. So if you say employment, can you elaborate?
When I talk about unemployment,
Right. Sorry, unemployment. Sorry. Right.
the unemployment, as you were saying, most graduates complete school, finish their national service, and they are not home because they want to be home. They are home because they are not finding the opportunities to do what they want to do. For example, like an example, petroleum engineer.
Right.
The typical Ghanaian petroleum engineer finds it very difficult to find a mining sector that specializes in petroleum, especially in Ghana here. So the unemployment, I believe, is not something that Ghanaian wants to do. The average Ghanaian wants to indulge in. It's more like the system has made it in a way that they are struggling to find jobs. Imagine a company putting out vacancies for jobs. Then a fresh graduate applying, but the company demands experience of 5 years. How is the graduate supposed to
Right.
work?
Yes.
How is it
Yes.
supposed
Yes.
to
Yes.
enter such an environment? The same private or let's say private company is not giving the graduate or when the graduate was a student at the time, they were not giving them opportunity to be intern in their companies, but they expect them to have the experience.
Just come up with the
So the
yeah
question is, where are they going to get that
the
experience?
experience. Yeah.
So with all this, it keeps the average Ghanaian, they keep applying, they keep trying, but they are not going anywhere. The problem is they are not getting the opportunities themselves.
Right. Right. I get that. So in this context, I would like to ask: is it a necessity or a choice when it comes to the opportunities, the unemployment, and the opportunities you mentioned about?
Okay. I think with the if we are, obviously if youth are not getting jobs, they have to find many ways and many means to sustain themselves economically. Some were indulging.
Mm.
Some were indulging moral acts.
Mm.
Others will do. There are so many things people are doing, and we can't judge them because
Mm.
the context and the background they are coming from is different. So let's say people want to indulge in entrepreneurship.
Mm.
You ask the question, is it a necessity or is it a choice?
All right.
In my opinion, I think it's both. But I would say it's in Ghana right now, it's more of a means or a survival mechanism rather than passion. Because people need to sustain themselves, especially from where I come from. If you reach a certain age, your parents cut you off like you have to fend for yourself. And for such a person, if there is not getting no job and he's not getting any income, entrepreneurship becomes a necessity. It's not a choice. It becomes a necessity because he has to do something. They call it hand to mouth.
Right.
Boja boja or Tom will be then
So
that's the
trapping. You
necessity.
see, almost say you're trying to trapping.
What he has here. Obe hustle from morning to
Yeah.
kakra no benya na hand to mouth na asa. The following also got to us. To such a person, no, those who indulge in entrepreneurship, or no main classify as entrepreneurship, I'm going to say is that the person is a business person. Because an entrepreneur puts in the time, he manages, controls, and he builds a business from the scratch. So people
Right.
that have the choice to do entrepreneurship, they are the people I'm going to really call entrepreneurship.
Entrepreneurship.
From the passion, with passion, there are people, as you were saying, somebody completes school and they still don't find jobs. The others, once they complete with their connection, they get streams, they get jobs and others. But there are also people who are naturally gifted and they have that inbuilt trait to start something. They have the knowledge to, or they have the passion to begin something. They start at a tender age. There are so many people, they have a vision, a specific vision, they follow it and they just throw themselves to it. That's the choice. That's the passion that comes from entrepreneurship. So if it's either a necessity or it's a choice, it's still entrepreneurship or you can say business. But it depends on the context and the background the person is from.
Right. So regardless of whatever, you have to make ends meet. You have to
Exactly.
yeah, you have to put in work, put in some effort to get some results.
Exactly.
So right. I would want us to also talk about creating the chances. How do we create the chance? How do we have to survive? And ɛnyɛ obiara na ɛwɔ saa nimdeɛ no a ɔbɛtumi create biribiara from scratch. Somebody, like you said, Walansa Fowe, somebody create put down already. Where they go tap in, then before anything go get So you know effort.
Yeah.
But I would like make we talk about the creating aspect of it. Entrepreneur, yes, and under entrepreneurship mainly creating the opportunities. How do we create it? Because Uko Kruma, if you go to town, you will see a lot of people struggling, see a lot of as if said there are no opportunities. But from your point of view as a digital marketer and an administrator, how do you think these things can be tackled with?
I think with entrepreneur finding opportunities in it, it's no easy job. let me say this one. It's not easy to find opportunity because whatever you are thinking of, the probability that somebody has already started it is so high.
I want us to dive into digital entrepreneurship, the scope of it, the opportunities seen there, how to create whatever, and how to implement it to make it a brand or a solid something.
So with entrepreneurship is not limited to production or manufacturing alone.
Mm.
You can have physical products, that's what we see. The manufacturing, the production there. And you also have services. People render service as entrepreneurship.
Mm.
For example, a baba.
Mm.
A baba shouldn't say, but the baba can be an entrepreneurship. He's rendering a service. A teacher. My boss used to say he's a teacherpreneur because he teaches multiple places. He renders service. That's it. So in the digital scope, for example, as a digital marketer, if you are to I'm selling my skills. That's my entrepreneurship. It's the skills or the services that I'm rendering. That is the entrepreneurship. So if I have a client that wants me to do something for him or promote his business or something, that's services. It's entrepreneurship. And how you are going to explore or exploit such skill or digital entrepreneurship is through branding.
Right.
If you are to be a store, you are going to paint your store, you are going to make it look attractive to customers, so customer service is going to be exceptional. The same as in the digital world, you have to brand yourself. You have to have a specific image, the tone of your language, how you communicate with customers, clients, whatever you're going to do. It's what is going to determine how your business or your entrepreneurship is going to grow. In the scope of entrepreneurship, as you say, we also have e-commerce, where people take their product from the physical world and sell it in the digital world. For the normal or the most common ways how people sell their products on WhatsApp.
Right.
I sell shoes, link up DM.
Yes.
That's entrepreneurship. They are doing entrepreneurship, but through the digital means. Is the simplest example I can give you. Yeah. And one more technical way is also the e-commerce. People build websites, they sell their products there. For example, Jumia, Alibaba, those stuff. They are also doing entrepreneurship, but through the digital means. And also, there's one thing called the drop shipping. You can start entrepreneurship, but you're going to need capital. With the drop shipping, you don't need the physical goods. You are going to buy from a supplier and connect the supplier to the customer. So if the customer buys it, the supplier is the one who's going to deliver to the customer without you touching the product. So those are all forms of digital marketing and how you can exploit the opportunities or the gaps or the scopes in the digital marketing realm.
Right. Right. So you know, there it's getting more interesting. It's getting more interesting. Um, I would also like to ask some questions. Um, how how big how big do you think um th- this can go? Because we came from a point. Let's say it once we got into the technological era, it's been bit by bit. But for the past, let's say 5 to 10 years, the the digital market has been booming. And what do you think? What's your projection? Let's say for the next 25 years in the digital market. What do you think? How do you feel How do you feel it?
I think that one is a very interesting one. Because looking back in the days in the 90s, people used to advertise on TV, the traditional news, TV newspapers, radio and others. Though they are still around, but do you know the average number of advertisements a person that goes online sees? You'll be thinking 100, but it's around over 5,000. The average, that's the average.
Average what?
Advertisement.
Advertisement.
If you use your phone alone,
Mm.
average is around over 5,000. So imagine if there are so many people or businesses advertising through this digital means. The question was in the next 25, don't even move to the next 25 years. In the next 5, in the next 10, with the introduction of AI, even big companies are doing advertisements. AIs.
Right.
They are pushing the traditional people away. In the next 5, 10, 25, I think it's going to be super. I don't
Yeah,
even
because see,
even with currency,
yes,
people are moving from physical
to
digital
digital.
currency.
Yeah,
Imagine business. There are so many right as we are. If whatever you want right now, if you take your phone and search,
you get it.
whatever you want on this
You
planet, you're
get
going to
it.
find on the internet. So what's stopping me from going to the internet? But what's stopping people from indulging in digital marketing or putting their or using the digital means to advertise or sell their product? In the next, there are going to be so many automations and it's going to take over so many things.
Yes, it's going to take over so many things. Some people will say they saw it coming, others will be very grateful.
It's inevitable.
Right, right.
It's like Thanos.
Yes. So Charlie, we not go anywhere. We won't take a break and then we will come back again. It be broad topic. We will go deep. Charlie, this is Vance, your one and only outlet. I'm still here with Gilbert. Gilbert is going to take us through, give us a lot of wisdom on this. So I'm in Fambra. In our community, there's this thing, the gender race in business. I say, oh shit, skill now. Now say no, a man also era business mo.
But especially online.
Yes, online business. A man a rimpa. So I want us to let's talk about the race between the he and the she. What are some of the challenges? What are some of the advantages? Circulating around it.
I would like to first say in entrepreneurship, there is no race between a boy,
Right,
a man, a woman.
right.
Entrepreneurship is entrepreneurship. But then again, there's this perception about women when a woman begins to make it, especially a young woman begins to make it. There's this perception that she's being supported by a man or she's doing something different other than the business. That's why she's making. But if a guy is doing the entrepreneurship, people see the guy as an entrepreneur and they respect him uh, just for him doing just the business. But as a woman, or especially a young girl, people have this perception. Sugar daddy, them or Bema sponsor, yeah, understand. So in terms of differences between a male entrepreneur and a female entrepreneur, I think that would be the perception or that would be that distortion between them that I would talk about. Because a lot of women face these things and to be honest, I think it's quite disrespectful and I don't think it's fair to girls entrepreneur or women entrepreneur working hard, waking up early, putting in especially those in importation and exportation. They wake up early, take proposals, write them down, place orders, wait for delivery, move up and down. Then someone somehow will be there. We cry or sugar daddy being response. And I think it's so disrespectful as the girl who is in entrepreneurship trying her best to do the business. I think that would be the distortion between them.
Right.
Yeah.
I say, yeah, man, for be feel say we were upper hand, bina. Yeah, it's on no cost and 19 or more cost.
The boy and girl, they'll be doing the same work.
Yes, but
they'll
the
praise
girl
the boy for being a hustling boy, but the girl, they'll be like,
they will be sponsored.
Sponsor. That perception, I think, is really disrespectful, and
I think it's a misconception too.
It's a huge misconception. And I don't think it's fair to women. Even with all these perception about women, I think I would like to tell women or girl entrepreneurs out there that so to every young girl out there listening, your brilliance is enough. You don't owe anyone explanation for your success. And to the rest of us, let's learn to give women some respect as we give men. If we if you clap for a young man selling stuff, you have to clap for a young woman also in entrepreneurship. That's what I'll say to the young girls.
Right. Let's give women some respect. Charlie, we know we'll end them for here, but we will put them for here for now. So we will catch up again. We will catch up again with more interesting topics. And this is Vent, your one and only outlet. Peace and love.